Hi, this is Ms. Zhu, and we're working on the homework tonight, which is practice quiz number 3, all about exponent rules. And our quiz is tomorrow. It's going to have questions like this, including a question where you'll have to explain your answer with, explanation like we did today in the bell work. Number 1, because we're simplifying, and here I notice there's a multiplication symbol. So I know that I am multiplying numbers, okay. Now because I'm multiplying, there is a little rhyme that I haven't taught you guys, but it's called when in doubt, So if you see a question with an exponent and you're not sure, when you're doubting, expand out and just write it out. And then hopefully that'll help you recall what we're doing. So here, I'm just going to expand it out. I have 6. 6n to the 4th means 6 times n to the 4th. And then times 3. And then times another n to the 4th. And if I expand that out, I would write 6. I'm going to actually rewrite the 6 and the 3. I'm going to write those next to each other, those base numbers. And then times n to the 4th times n to the 4th. So I can expand it out, and I could write 6 times 3 times I have an n times an n times an n times an n times another 4 n's. Okay, and then if I simplify, remember the process that I'm taking is to simplify. If I simplify, then I can multiply the 6 and the 3, which gives me 18. And then I'm going to count how many n's there are. So I have n, and then there are 8, so to the 8th power, and that would be my final answer. So of course you don't have to do it that way, but if you forget what to do, this is the safest way. So when in doubt, you expand out. And let's say you forget if you were to add something or multiply or maybe subtract something, then just expand it out and check your work that way. Okay, so for number 2, I'm going to do it the other way without expanding it out. So I'm going to take the 2, I'm going to multiply that. There's a 1 here, times it by 1. Take the 4 and multiply that. So the 2 with the 1 and the 4, that makes 8. Then I'm going to take the x, so I have x to the 4th times x to the 3rd times x to the 2nd. And if I wanted to expand it out, I could write x times x times x times x, and then times another x times x times x, times another x times x. Okay, I could count them all up, which would then give me x to the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, and that would be my final answer. 8, x is the base, and 9 power. Number 3, I would multiply 4 times 7, which is 28. There's an n1 here invisibly, so there's the n. And then over here there's 3, so if I expand it out, n times n times n. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, there's n to the 4th power. Again, the shortcut way would be to add the exponents, which the exponents is 1, invisible 1, plus the 3, which gives me 4. So if I add the exponents, that's what I would get here. Okay, and number 4, I have m to the 1st power times 3n to the m to the 1st power. And if I did the shortcut way, I just have 3 as the number in the front. M would then be to the 2nd power. And if I count it, I know that there's already 2 m's there. And there's nothing really for me to expand out. When in doubt, I'm going to expand out. Okay, and number 5. 5 times 5 is 25, and then m to the 2nd power, I'm going to add that with the 4, so that gives me m to the 6th power. Again, this is the shortcut way. I would like you to expand it out so that you can see exactly what you're doing for practice. So writing 5 times m times another 5 times m to the 4th power, which is 4 m's, would help you realize that is why your answer is 25m to the 6th power. Write that a little neater. Whoops. And then number 6, again, I'm going to do it the shortcut way. 4 times 8 is going to give me 32. I can count the 2 n's. N times n is the same as n to the 2nd power. My final answer. I am going to do the whole worksheet, so there should be no excuses tomorrow for coming to class and not understanding if you did not watch the video. So if your friends have not watched the video or they're wondering, ask them, did you watch the video? Because it went through all the questions. Number 7, when you see a negative exponent, what should you think about? Did you think about the word reciprocal? Good. You're going to take the reciprocal. Reciprocal of what? Of the base number. And here, the base number is x. So to find the reciprocal, and we like to call it the refliprical, okay, refliprical, meaning the fraction will be flipped. So first we have to change it to a fraction. So x is the base. I'm going to write x over 1. That's how I make it a fraction. So the refliprical would be 1 over x. And this is a word created by Cooper. Hi, Cooper. That's our shout out to Cooper. He created that word for us to help us remember. So 1 over x would be the reciprocal. And that negative now can turn into a positive because I want a positive exponent. And the positive 1 goes here next to x, and I don't even have to write it there, but I will because I want to. So there's my answer. 1 over x is basically my final answer, 1 over x. Okay. Number 8. On number 8, the negative 3 tells me that the base number that goes with it is the, what do you think? Do you think the base number is the negative 5 with m? Would it be just the negative 5? Or would the base number maybe just be the m? Well, it's whatever is right near it. So because the m is the base next to the negative 3 exponent, then the m is considered the base. So I'm just going to take the reciprocal of m over 1. So the reciprocal of that would be 1 over m. And then the negative 3 would be at the corner of m. So that's going to actually turn into a positive 3. So negative 3 becomes a positive 3 exponent for the m. And what about that negative 5? I didn't forget about it, but the negative 5 was a whole number, and it's actually, I'm going to write it as a fraction so it's clear to us where that negative 5 is going to go. So I'm just going to carry it over. So in my final answer from here, I would get negative 5 in the numerator over m cubed in the denominator. And those ones disappear because, remember, in between here are multiplication signs, and negative 5 times 1 is negative 5, and 1 times m to the third power is m to the third power. Number 9 is very similar to number 8. The negative 6, I can write it as a fraction. I'm going to write x as a fraction as well. And then here I have a negative 1 as my exponent. So I do want to find the reciprocal of this base number. And the base number is for this one. So I'm going to flip that one. So I still have negative 6 over 1. Now 1 over x is the reciprocal. And then instead of a negative 1 as an exponent, it's going to be 1. And there's my final answer, where I'm just going to write negative 6 over x, and that's all I'm going to write. I don't even need the 1 right here. I'm going to erase it because it's not necessary. Don't need it. It's invisible. Okay, number 10 is just like number 9. Go ahead and try it. Pause it if you want to. Anytime in the video you want to pause, not see an answer, and work it out by yourself, and then play it again, then feel free to do that. 8 over 1, I'm going to write it as a fraction. X over 1, I'm going to write it as a fraction. Negative 4 is my exponent, so I'm going to take the reciprocal. So 8 does not become the reciprocal, but this will become the reciprocal. So I'm going to get 1 over x, and then the negative becomes a positive exponent. I'm just making some notes in case you're not sure what's going on. And so the negative 4 becomes a positive 4. My final answer, I'm going to write it over here, which is going to be 8 over x to the 4th. Final answer for number 10. Going down, number 11, I'll keep that up there. Negative r. Negative r is actually the base. So negative r over 1, I'm going to write that as a fraction. I see that I have a negative 1 exponent, so I'm going to find the reciprocal, I'm just going to abbreviate. So I'm going to take 1 over negative r, and then the negative 1 for the exponent now becomes a positive 1 next to the r, and that would be my final answer. I actually don't even need the negative next to the r. I'm just going to write negative 1 over r, and that's it. That would be even better. Number 12, same thing. Anne's final answer is 1 over x to the third power. Again, I'm not going to actually show you the work for that. but look back on the last few questions. Number 3, 3 to the 4th power, what does that mean? Definitely not 3 times 4, so the answer is not 12, so please don't confuse it with that. It means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is the same thing as 9 times 9, which is the answer 81. Number 7, 7 to the negative third. Negative third, reciprocal again. So really what you're multiplying is the reciprocal 3 times. The reciprocal negative 1/7 times 1/7 times 1/7. Okay, or if you wanted to write 1/7 reciprocal and then take that 3 that's negative and make it positive. Okay, that's what's really happening there. So we could just write that as my final answer. So again, the negative means that you take the reciprocal and multiply it then by positive 3 times. So 1/7 times 1/7 times 1/7. It's another way of interpreting what that negative exponent really means. 15, 8 to the negative 1 would be the reciprocal of 8, which is 1 over 8. 1 power, I'm not even going to write the 1. Final answer. 16, if it's 0 exponent, automatically the answer should give you 1. Very good. I hope you remember that. It's not 8, and it's not 0 or 8. So please don't confuse it with that. Number 17, we are simplifying some fractions with exponents in it. 2 and 6 can both be divided by 2, so when I simplify that number, I get 1 over 3. Then I'm going to, I don't remember, so if I don't remember, when in doubt, expand out. Okay, expand out. Expand it. X, there's 7 of them. Y's, there's 5 of them. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then the denominator, expand that. Y, okay, Y, I'm going to line up the Y's. So Y's are over here. There's 1 of them. And X, there's 5 of them, so I'm going to divide 2, 3, 4, 5. Expand. Dividing means I'm supposed to cross out. So I'm going to do X, and cross these out. And okay, now I remember what to do. Yeah, I'm going to keep the 1 here. I have 2 X's, circle it so I don't forget. Write neatly so I don't make mistakes either. And circle the Y's over here. That's 4 of them, so y to the 4th over, and then I have 3, and then no more x's or y's at the bottom. The answer, boom. Wow, not that bad if I think about when in doubt, expand out. Okay, when in doubt, expand out. Okay, next question. You don't have to do it this way, but it ensures that you do it correctly. 10 and 8 can both be divided by 2. That simplifies to 5 over 4. I expand my m. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. N's, I have 3. 1, 2, 3. And then the 8's at the denominator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I have 7 N's. Oh my, I'm going to go down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, a lot of them. So if I start canceling out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many do I have left? You should have 2 at the bottom. And then cross 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 left. So I have 5 in my numerator, 4 in my denominator, and I had 2 m's, m squared. And over here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, n squared. Okay, final answer. I went a little quickly, but hopefully by now you should understand how to do 17, 18. And here's 19. I'm not going to work it out. I'm just going to give you the answers. If you need more help, please ask me in class. 1 over 4, m to the 3rd, and n to the 3rd. Answer. And number 20 is going to be 7x to the 4th over 8y to the 5th. Answer. And that would be it for our worksheet. Happy studying!